What's going on, guys? Give me just a moment here. I actually just heard from Jake. Hopefully, he can actually stream now, and if that's the case, then we'll shut this down and we'll get Zoom up, and we'll get that Pokemon stream going for you guys. I know everybody was interested in the Pokemon hustle, but if not, we're just going to kick it and stream here. So give me just a second, we'll get the word out, get this out via Telegram. All right. Yer, what's up, Dagashi? 62. Just for the new viewers that came here, apologies. We were supposed to have JB, the Crypto King, Collectibles Guru, Jake on to do the Pokemon stream today. I don't think that's going down. I just heard from him on Twitter, and I've asked him if he still wants to do the stream today. If not, then we're going to be rocking and rolling. We'll look at charts. We'll look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin's obviously looking super bullish. That dump was just bought really, really hard. We can talk about, what to do if you're in shitcoins right now, while Bitcoin is mooning, some strategies that might save your ass, et cetera, et cetera. But just give me just a second and, we will figure out what's going on here. And if that is the case, we'll shut down this Periscope and, we can go with that. So in the meantime, I wanted to ask you guys, I've got a couple of different backgrounds, that I can actually choose here. I've got this one. This is the one that I've been rocking with, and I'm particularly fond of it. Give it just a second to switch over. This is kind of like the retro background. I've got this one, which is kind of like a tech, like circuit board almost background. And that's, let's see. Oh, I've got this one. This one's pretty wild. I wanted to get y'all's opinion on which one you like the most. What's up, Kay Rakoff? When ETH Moon? And maybe right now. But I wanted to know, which backgrounds do you guys like the most? Do you like this one that's going on right now? I mean, this one's got a lot going on. Is the only thing about it. It does look cool though. Yeah, this is kind of like the vaporwave background, something like that. Yeah, this one's really distracting. I do like it, but it's actually really, really distracting. I think this is my favorite. So we'll go ahead and switch back to the background that isn't so crazy. And just like I said, we're going to give Crypto King, another minute or two to respond. And if not, we're just going to rock and roll. And we will be doing that Pokemon stream probably tomorrow with Crypto Nico Z, who is Jake's partner. You guys know him on Twitter. He's that dude with the chick as his profile picture. When everybody was doing those face app things. Yeah, I'm a big fan of this one. I think it's super dope. Oh yeah, give me the hearts, baby. Old Zen out. Free alpha, you gotta keep an empty container for you to ditch your Zen pouches in. Keeps it clean. Wow, dude, the AI is totally editing this out. Look at this shit. Whoa, baby. Hey, you guys want to see a magic trick? All right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Wow. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here it is. Whoop. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Here it is. Where'd it go? Here it is. Okay. We're going to nick up. And let me check my DMs one more time. It looks like I haven't heard from Jake at all, other than him saying, oh shit. Try that with my head. Yeah, it doesn't work with my head. Let's see if it works with my water bottle. Nope. Oh. All right, 1, 2, 3. Whoop. Pretty magic. Did you guys show up to see the Bitcoin in my butt? Is that why everybody's here? Okay. That's actually pretty dope. What about that? So let me get the charts pulled up here. Let me get a fresh browser, whatever, open. I just accidentally closed down Periscope. Okay, Jake's saying he might be able to do it before 4 p.m. PST tomorrow. In that event, maybe we'll do a dual episode. We'll have Nico and Jake on. I think that would be pretty dope. I'll get with them after this, you know, and we'll see what's up. But let me get TradingView open, and let's see. Here we go. And we're going to change this from background replacement to removal. Okay. All sorts of fun charts open right here. You know, we saw a decent little bounce in MTA. This pitchfork that I've drawn has been holding up pretty well, just in terms of like levels and everything. I'm really hoping that we can get this MTA dump, put the dump on the coin, and see 75-cent MTA. I've got a lot of capital that I would deploy at 75 cents, and I think with that, with the size of bag I'd be able to buy, and with how hard everybody would be screaming at that level, I'm pretty sure that would be like straight up easy retirement. Of course, the kind of the stealer of the show right now is Bitcoin, and we'll just go ahead and zoom out. We'll take a look at these Gann levels. You know, we are going to have a daily close in an hour and 40 minutes, and I do believe that a lot. Basically, the next phase for Bitcoin, you know, what's ever going to happen next, is going to be determined largely in part by this daily close. And we can go ahead and, you know, we can draw this trend line. Now, this trend line is valid. You know, these two aren't connected, you know, which is typically if you were going to have a two-touch trend line, you'd want two adjacent points to be connected. But this is a three-touch trend line, which is another valid way to draw one. We're using the wicks method on this. So we've connected these three wicks right here. And we can see that the top of the trend line is at about $14,000, which is very well, you know, where Bitcoin could be headed right here. If that were the case, then, you know, we'd consolidate above this Gann line, as we kind of saw right here in the past. And that would give us the fuel to move up to this next level. So, you know, maybe you guys could expect something like this. Oh my God, 14,500, this is it. Oh fuck, you know. And then finally, onto the final destination, you know, which is like 19,000. Chart a first edition Shadowless Charizard. Okay. This is the first edition Shadowless Charizard chart. Right? I was saying, oh, motherfucker. So I was saying on a stream yesterday that I actually had literally like an entire binder full of holographics, you know, back in the day. And, you know, I'm like 31, so all of these holographics are pretty much like, I mean, they had to be like the Shadowless first edition. I'm talking, you know, I had the Bulbasaur or the Venusaur and the Charizard, and I had all of that shit. And I remember I sold it when I was probably maybe 16 or 17 on eBay for like $300, and I felt like a baller. It might have even been less money than that. I felt like a total baller, and I think I bought some video games with it. You know, video games that I probably haven't played in over 10 years. So that's really nice. You can't win them all though. Bitcoin is looking quite good though. Let's go take a look at the Ethereum chart. I'm going to change this back to regular scale. Ethereum does look really, really, really good here. I'm just going to go ahead and delete these, although, you know, that could be a temporary stopping point. I deleted them yesterday, but I think I reloaded the chart. Okay. So Ethereum looks really nice. You know, you've got this location right here, and we've definitely kind of completed this SR flip. You know, we failed to really dump too hard, and a lot of people were calling for, you know, dumps down to 300. It's inevitable, you know, blah, blah, blah. We did get pretty close, 315. I had some Ethereum shorts at one point from like 400, and I wanted to close them really low. I was using DYDX, which is a fantastic platform. But I remember, I think I ended up closing them like around 340 or something. I was looking for somewhere in this region right here. That would have been a really nice pullback. But I don't think anything can be said about this Ethereum USD structure other than it is really, really, really bullish. If we go ahead and take a look at the weekly chart here, you know, you can see just how bullish it is. SCMR, which is the algorithm I use for trends, you know, it shows red right here. That's the downtrend. And then green right here shows that this is definitely an uptrend that's still going on. There's obviously some resistance that we're pushing into right here. But I do believe Ethereum is set to outperform Bitcoin in the near future. One of the main reasons being, you know, we have this Ethereum 2.0 launch coming up in November. That Ethereum 2.0 launch is not only bullish from the, you know, whole perspective of, oh my God, Ethereum 2.0 hype, but it's also bullish from the perspective of the actual token mechanics behind it and what it's actually going to do to Ethereum 1. So like, let's say I've got a big bag of Ethereum 1 and I'm really bullish long-term on Ethereum. I'm a holder of Ethereum. I'm not trading it. You know, I'm not doing anything. I'm just a holder of Ethereum. What I can actually do, and even if I'm not, I can take my Ethereum in November and there's a unidirectional bridge. That just means that I can take my Ethereum 1 and I can burn it or do something. I don't know if it's wrapping or burning or what, and migrate over to Ethereum 2.0 for this phase 0. And that'll allow me to go ahead and stake an Ethereum 2.0 and get that ROI, you know, be a staker, make more Ethereum. But I can't move it back, you know, once I moved it over. Now, I would expect that a lot of Ethereum is going to make this move. And what that's going to do for Ethereum 1 is it's really, really, really going to squeeze the supply. And as we all know, simple supply and demand, you know, if we have a strong demand for Ethereum, it's scam fuel, right? It's scam fuel. If we've got a strong demand for scam fuel and the supply is significantly reduced, there's not going to be that overhead float to stop us from really rocketing up. So I'd love to see Ethereum here at about 800 bucks. You know, we discussed yesterday that, you know, we're probably going to have some stopping points along the way, you know, maybe around 600 will be the next pit stop. But I can't imagine a world where this is long-term bearish for altcoins at all. And if we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, and I've got that pulled up here. I've got some levels mapped out. Let me go ahead and switch this over to the weekly. It's just a little bit easier to read. You know, we can see that the dominance has had a nice bullish bounce yet. I wouldn't quite call it a reversal at this point, and people don't quite understand dominance in the first place. So, you know, let's just kind of explain dominance a little bit. Dominance is just the percent of the entire crypto market cap that Bitcoin represents, and why it's not, you know, we can, of course, it loosely does adhere to TA and trend lines and things like that. The issue with dominance is when you're looking at Bitcoin relative to the market cap of all the other cryptocurrencies, right? And how much of that total crypto market cap is comprised of Bitcoin market cap. It's not really a fair measure of Bitcoin's performance, right? One of the main reasons being that while there's one Bitcoin, right, there's all sorts of other shitcoins that continue to come into the ecosystem and inflate the value of the, you know, other altcoins market caps. I think, let's see, we got a total crypto market cap here. I think there's an others. Here we go. So this is the market cap of everything that's not Bitcoin. Okay. So you can see that this is still very much bullish, and you know, we're pushing kind of an all-time high, or close to an all-time high in this. You know, we've run into a little bit of resistance here. But I have no doubt that, especially with Ethereum poised to rally and potentially even outperforming Bitcoin, that we're going to see really, really nice performance for altcoins here coming soon. And we've already seen, how hard DeFi pumps on its own, just without any really external influence at all. And it pumps very fucking hard. And part of the reason is just the inherent Ponzi-nomics of DeFi. But we haven't seen how hard DeFi pumps with an influx of retail money, which is going to be really interesting. And I do think that DeFi in general is going to be very complementary to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other things as well when this new retail money comes in, because there's this concept of CeFi DeFi, which is essentially centralized exchanges are providing on-ramps to DeFi products or even providing kind of their own DeFi products. Give me just a second. My chat isn't working. So I'm going to refresh my Periscope. Is this... Okay, the stream's back up. Okay, and I do believe the chat is working now. Let me type a test message. Okay, sick. So, when you really look at this total market cap chart, okay, and once again, this even kind of suffers from the whole concept of, hey, there's new coins being made and that's going to contribute to the total market cap. But you have to remember that any kind of significant contributions to this total market cap are going to occur in an altcoin bull market. So while it's silly to say that, this is an end all be all, we can do TA on it, blah, 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 there's the other side of the coin and another argument that can be made that we're not going to even have new altcoins that are capable of inflating the market cap unless altcoins are, in fact, bullish. So I'm excited to see what happens here. We're approaching levels that haven't been seen since really the last Bitcoin all-time high, and Bitcoin's just getting started. So when this new retail money does come in, I do believe we're going to see some fireworks here. Now, we haven't taken a look at this in a while, but I wanted to take another look at it. And this is something that I'm still very bullish on, and that is DUSK, okay? Now, DUSK is a security token platform. It's a blockchain designed specifically for tokenized securities. And I am super, super bullish on DUSK. I've held my DUSK bag for months and months and months on end, and I continue to plan on holding it. This right here is very, very bullish for me. Let's go ahead and throw some fibs on it. Where's that fib? There we go. So you can see right now, we're sitting right here in this 0.236 retracement level. We've got a VPVR node at this level and also an SR flip. This area that was support for DUSK for a while broke down, it broke back up, and now it's being reconfirmed as support. This is just the test pump for DUSK. DUSK is a very, very low market cap. And we'll check this out right now. I'm actually talking myself into buying more DUSK right now. Lols. DUSK is just an $11 million market cap, and I do believe that this has at least 10x upside in it. So it's definitely something that I want large exposure to. DUSK is doing all sorts of crazy things that no one else is doing, and it's a total private blockchain, and they've actually got a private consensus mechanism too, which is really interesting. So a few people have asked me, my opinion on DUSK and what I still think of it. And my opinion is you better fucking hold that shit, because it's one of those coins that's just kind of an inevitable play. I mean, at $11 million market cap, at some point in the future, this is going to be significantly higher, especially with an influx of new retail buyers. And we really haven't even seen that security token narrative emerge yet, period. And when you look at all the potential security token platforms, DUSK has had $1 million investment from Bitfinex. And with that kind of investment and that expertise and that infrastructure behind the DUSK network, I have no doubt that this becomes a leader in the security token space. Big time. You also have to remember that DUSK isn't a DeFi token. So if you are going to be exposed to altcoins, you don't want to be, when the real run comes. Of course, this whole DeFi season was kind of a sector-specific alt season, right? Nothing really pumped but DeFi. But when the real alt season hits, we don't know how it's going to happen. We don't know if it's going to be like we saw in 2017 with a rotation from large to medium to small caps, We don't know if it's going to be a sector rotation, you know, to where, hey, we're going to get privacy coins that pump first, and then we're going to get the medium caps that pump second, and then DeFi is going to pump again, and then this is going to pump again. So I do believe in order to go ahead and set yourself up for success and to make sure that you have an early runner, which is, you know, I've preached is very, very important for any alt season. You have to have that early runner, because if you have something that moves before anything else, you can buy everybody else's wrecked bags, okay? And you can buy them for pennies on the dollar, and you can use that gain. You know, maybe DUSK goes 5x first. You can go, okay, fuck yeah, I'm going to take half off DUSK and I'm going to roll it into these 3 other bags that haven't moved. That's really going to set you up to make a lot of money during these alt seasons. But with Bitcoin moving, I mean, this shit is coming. So don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You know, is it wise to have 100% altcoin exposure right now? No, it's not. But is this the time where you should be looking for extreme value buys on altcoins? Abso-fucking-lutely. You know, a lot of people are saying DeFi potentially might have already bottomed. And I think that that may be true for some DeFi coins. But you have to remember that all these DeFi coins are at different phases in their bear markets as well. You know, some of them being at anger, some of them being fully in the depressive state, et cetera, et cetera. So once again, this is just something to keep an eye on. There are a couple of other security token platforms. Poly is one of them. Let me just switch over to cryptocurrency. That's Polymath. Now, let me check it out versus USD. So Poly isn't looking so bad versus USD. I'm not particularly liking this structure right here. You know, I definitely think this could pull back. I don't think Poly ever really did anything or gained any traction. So with that being said, you know, I wouldn't be placing my chips on this one. I think DUSK is a superior product. But even then, you know, if you do think that security tokens are going to be a future narrative, which I really, really fucking do, Polymath might be a good value here at a $24 million cap. Where's DUSK trading that Americans can access? Well, you're gonna have to go on Binance to get it. So if you can figure out how to do that, and I'm not going to tell you how, but if you can figure out how to do that, by all means, you know, more power to you. But I'm extremely bullish on DUSK. Extremely bullish on DUSK. So let's continue to take a look at some other things. And of course, you know, I do want to talk about some of the things you guys might have. You know, I don't want to talk about things that I'm the only one that has right now. You know, we're looking at a lot of this DeFi stuff. You know, a lot of it isn't looking so strong right now. You know, but at the same time, you do need to ask yourself, you know, am I going to be buying things, you know, that are going to go down more than what I currently have? You know, is it wiser to maybe liquidate right now and go all in on Bitcoin? You know, what's the move here? In my opinion, you know, this upside on Bitcoin, at least short term, very short term, is limited. You know, as I said, you know, we could see this run right here up to you know, 14,000. We could blow out a ton of shorts. And trust me, there would be major damage on those shorts if that were to occur. Yeah, we will talk about SEAL for sure. For everybody that doesn't know, you know, we've got a couple of votes going on for SEAL right now. Vote number one, we're voting on multi-sig holders for SEAL. Now, one of the big points of contention for SEAL, and what I think has prevented more money from entering SEAL, is that the mint function on SEAL is still live. Now, what that means is that SEAL is still ruggable if the development team had nefarious intentions. However, this multi-sig handover is actually supposed to be occurring tomorrow. And when that happens, SEAL will no longer be ruggable because that mint function will be owned by a multi-sig. Now, I'm one of the people that's up for vote in multi-sig. I actually got clearance from Dan to go ahead and do that, you know, since we've covered SEAL. Well, the thing is, falls in, everything's price is reducing and nothing is immune to the effects of the market. You know, Bitcoin is really ripping, and you know, as more and more people start to believe that, oh my God, this is the big Bitcoin move, Bitcoin's going to 19,000 right now, it's going to really scare a lot of people. And those same people are of course going to, you know, end up selling off and end up moving into other things. But you know, with that being said, you know, Bitcoin could be approaching a top right here. And not an end-all be-all top, you know, it could be approaching a temporary top. and we could consolidate above this Gann line, and before we get ready to rip up to 19,000. I think from a macro perspective, fundamentally, Bitcoin's never been as bullish as it is now. I mean, you've got MicroStrategy, you've got Square investing, both millions and millions of dollars into Bitcoin. And then you've also got companies like PayPal. And I believe eBay has kind of ditched PayPal, and PayPal is looking to stay relevant. They're looking to be the next wave. And I mean, that's a huge stamp of approval that PayPal has said, we're going in on crypto. I just saw a post just not too long ago that PayPal was looking to acquire some crypto companies, BitGo being one of them. So not only is PayPal going to be allowing people to buy and sell cryptocurrencies, but PayPal is also going to be looking at making investments in the crypto infrastructure, which is super, super bullish for cryptocurrency in general. Now, you have to remember, a lot of this crypto shit is tradable on Robinhood as well. And I don't think that we've gotten the Robinhood wave. So when we're looking at this in relation to the 2017 bull run, there's several things going for us now that we didn't have back then. One, we have a more mature infrastructure. One of the biggest reasons why the last bull run stopped was because the infrastructure wasn't designed to handle the influx of users. I've complained about this multiple times, but I had a Coinbase support ticket that went in unanswered for 3+ months. I had to threaten them with legal action to even get a fucking reply. And not me, you've always got that keyboard warrior that's sending them emails. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you. It wasn't like that. I got the, I forget who is the CFTC or this or that to write them a letter. And I'd spoken with a lawyer that sent them a letter as well. And they finally, all of a sudden, they cared about my support issue. Even Binance was having issues with the load, and arguably Binance had the most advanced back-end infrastructure back then. But this go around, everybody's had years to prepare for the influx of new users. So everybody's going to be ready to handle tons of new users coming into the crypto space, not just the Bitcoin space. It's been confirmed. We have a multi-coin future ahead of us, but a lot of people are going to be coming into this Bitcoin space. The infrastructure is ready to handle it. We've already had 2 major corporations make major investments in Bitcoin. Those are the first 2 of many that are going to be making major investments into Bitcoin. And in addition to that, you have to remember that a lot of this crypto shit is on Robinhood right now, and we haven't even gotten those traders really excited about crypto yet. Now imagine when David Portnoy and Wall Street Bets and all those guys start going crazy for Dogecoin, start going crazy for Ethereum. These guys don't buy low and sell high. They're momentum traders. These are guys that see a number going up and want to hop on because everybody else is getting hilariously rich. Now, Bitcoin hasn't reached that phase yet where everybody's getting hilariously rich, but when Bitcoin hits 20K, I expect there's going to be a dump, of course. We're testing all-time highs, and there typically is a dump or at least some consolidation, but that's really what's going to get people excited. More companies, the Robinhood guys, the PayPal guys, the horde's going to come in, and the same cycle is going to repeat itself that always has. Hey, I'm going to buy Bitcoin, and then that's a gateway drug. Now I've got to buy some Ripple. Now I've got to buy some Doge. And as people dive further and further down the rabbit hole, they end up on our precious shitcoins and pump the absolute fuck out of them. So when is this going to happen? It's very interesting, just the timing of this all, because the timeline is actually very similar to what we saw back here. Okay, so we're looking right now, it's October 22nd, and look what's happening on Bitcoin. And of course, it doesn't look the exact same, right? But this is very similar. And we saw right here, at the end of October 22nd, look, we've got this big candle to the upside. And we actually continued to rally here until November, and we tested that all-time high. And then Bitcoin continued to grind up towards the end of the year and ended up making an even higher all-time high, made a new all-time high. Now, the big question is, when did alt season begin? And I think Ethereum was a leader on the previous alt season. So let's go ahead and have a look at that. And we're actually going to look at the Poloniex chart, because Poloniex was a big deal back then, and Poloniex was one of the first people to have this shit back then. Okay. You can see, in 2016, Ethereum outperformed a lot of other things. Ethereum went up. Of course, I've discussed this in the past, but I was bag holding Decred. When did Ethereum really start taking off? And that was early 2017. And, we had this massive alt run that really lasted pretty much the entire year. I think really the majority, the meat of that altcoin run was pretty much from January to June. But during this period of time, I mean, it was months and months on end of everybody getting hilariously rich. Everybody getting hilariously rich. Not just the guys that were in DeFi, not just the guys that were in privacy coins, but literally everybody getting hilariously rich. And it's really interesting to see that, this alt season began at this period of time. And let's see what Bitcoin was doing, because Ethereum officially kind of broke out and made new all-time highs in February. Let's see what Bitcoin was doing back then. So Bitcoin had already gone up, it made new all-time highs. And did Bitcoin right here, when Bitcoin started recovering from those new all-time highs, that's when alt season began, okay? And if Bitcoin's mooning, I only want to be in alts. Well, no, that's actually false. Right now, while Bitcoin hasn't broken out, while there's not new money coming into the system, maybe being exposed to Bitcoin instead of alts is the best idea. But history shows us that altcoins performed exceptionally well, actually outperformed Bitcoin, okay, from February to June. And let's just take a look at the percentages here, just as testament to that. So we'll do it from February to June. Bitcoin saw a 200% increase in price. Whereas Ethereum saw a 3,000% increase on price. So don't let anybody tell you, for a fucking second that, when Bitcoin is really rocking and rolling, when we made this new all-time high, that Bitcoin is the end-all be-all. I do believe that altcoins are going to significantly outperform Bitcoin. The real question here is timeline and opportunity cost. So when do I want to have altcoin exposure? Basically, when do I want to start entering these altcoins? When do I want to be in these altcoins? And the answer to that question, yeah, thank you, Burn State. But the answer to this question is you're going to want to start being in these altcoins, especially when Bitcoin makes this new all-time high. Alts are going to run harder than Bitcoin. You're going to make more Bitcoin with altcoins than you will holding Bitcoin alone. And with that being said, okay, you're going to want to learn when to take profit, because at a certain period of time, you're going to want to rotate back into Bitcoin, because, Bitcoin is, when it really, really goes parabolic, Bitcoin's going to crush altcoins again. And you're going to let go of some of those gains. Now, the vast majority of people here aren't going to be able to do that, because everybody's going to be so hilariously rich by that point, then, it'll just be silly to move back straight into Bitcoin, right? Everybody will be making tons of money. But you've got to be able to play this right. You've got to be able to understand that, when Ethereum decides to pull back, which is a really good indicator of kind of the health of the altcoin market, then it's probably time to pivot over to straight Bitcoin. And you have to be looking when Bitcoin goes ultra parabolic, which we haven't seen yet. We're still at these early phases. That is going to crush your altcoins. So when is all this going to happen? Like I said, the timing is very, very interesting. And we seem to be kind of not exactly structurally repeating history, but it is interesting to see, Bitcoin starting to rally at the end of the year. Now, another really interesting thing to note, what was happening at the end of 2016, right? We were having a presidential election. Okay. Then Donald Trump won, right? And that's when the markets exploded. It doesn't matter if Trump wins or if Biden wins. Let's actually take a look at this too. Because I've heard from a lot of people that, they're going to say, oh, if you, want the market to perform, Donald Trump's got to win. So when did Donald Trump take office? Or so the election itself was, what would it be, November 2016? Right? Let's see if there's an indicator for this. Let's see if this does anything. Okay, well, that indicator sucks. Or maybe I'm just not using it right. That's okay, though. Let me get my vertical line tool here. Okay, so, and let me just see. Okay. The fuck? Hold on. I lost my Periscope window. Okay. Okay. So November 2016, last presidential election. Markets rallied after that. Okay. The one before that would have been November 2012, right? Markets rallied after that. Guess who was elected in 2012? Barack Obama. But I was told that only a Republican president was going to pump the markets. Well, that's really interesting. Okay. Let's look at the last one would have been November 2008, right? And of course, we did have a recession back then. Okay. But even then, look what happened after the election. We got a dump, but then the recovery began. Stonks went up, right? Let's look at the one before that. Markets went up after that election too. So the biggest thing about these elections is uncertainty in the markets, right? People don't like uncertainty, especially funds. We're looking at players with a lot of money on the table. And it's very difficult for them to employ effective strategies in the market when there is uncertainty surrounding the future of, the policies that are going to be in place. When we get a new president, whether that be Donald Trump or Joe Biden, it doesn't matter. There's certainty restored to the markets. And with that certainty, I believe that we're going to continue to rally. Let's throw a Gann fan on this for lulz. That Gann fan actually fits pretty damn well. And it's mapped out these levels pretty well. There's the bounce that was a top. Another bounce around that level. Top again at that Gann level. Bounce at that level. I do think that regardless of who wins president, we continue on this trajectory to the upside. I mean, stocks are the biggest Ponzi there is. And maybe even, if the markets went super parabolic and if we were going to have some kind of big crash and burn and, we're going to have a situation where the economy resets and this and that, what's got to happen first? I think that we're going to have to see a major bubble on these markets, and I think that the S&P 500 could rally to like 6,500 or something like that, just based on the Gann fan alone, not taking anything else into consideration. But even if it doesn't, if we continue on this trajectory, like we've seen, that's a rally, and you've got to remember that after every presidential election, we have both Republican and Democratic examples here, okay? These markets did rally, and we're about to remove that uncertainty. It's pretty much a week or two away, right? November 3rd. So let that happen, and then we're going to see what Bitcoin can really do. Now, if Bitcoin consolidates here for a bit, I do think alts will recover, but that recovery isn't necessarily indicative of alts going to the moon yet. You know, an alt recovery could be more indicative that, you know, we're coming out of the depression phase of the altcoin market. And like I said, not all of these altcoins are at the same market, are at the same phase in their market cycles, but many of them are. And a lot of the DeFi coins, you know, are easier to look at because, you know, like when we look at DUSK, for example, DUSK is at, this is a sucker's rally, you know, relative to looking at something like MTA, that's in a full depression mode right now. And I pointed this out before because, you know, if you've looked on Twitter and you look at everything Three Arrows does, these guys are animals. You know, they called DeFi, they called Bitcoin. Everything they invest in goes to $1 billion cap, and MTA, in my opinion, is no different. Of course, MTA, look at it right now. It looks like shit, right? It looks terrible. You know, how could you say that that looks good? Because that would just be a lie. You can't. But I want you to also look at this. Ave, or Ave, or I don't know how the fuck you say it. Look at this. You know what this is? This is another 3Chads coin. Oh my god, this looks like fucking shit. This looks terrible, right? This is the worst. I hate this coin. I'm depressed. Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot, right? 3 Arrows. Now look at it. Making a new all-time high and holding strong despite Bitcoin going fucking nuts. That's incredible. That's absolutely incredible. And I don't think MTA is going to be any different. I don't think MTA is going to be any different at all. So don't lose faith in 3Chads. I mean, everything these guys do is fucking gold. You know, MTA, if you see MTA, and I like that Burn say, when you see MTA shaping a V, you know that it's fucking go time. And that this shit is going to fucking pump and it's going to go crazy. If you're looking at buying MTA, I suggest doing one of two things if you're not already a back holder like me. I do have capital to deploy that I plan on purchasing MTA with if MTA goes below $1. I'm pretty sure any MTA I buy below $1 or close to $1 is literally a ticket to retirement. The second plan, which would be the more responsible plan and you know, would maybe save you from some further pain, would be to go ahead and wait for this first ramp up and then buy the dip. Yeah, 3 Arrows Capital is on Twitter. It's Suzu and Cal Davis. They're actually investors in Hxro, the company I work for. And, you know, we did, yeah, we'll just take a look at the Hxro chart really quick. I'm not going to comment on it because I can't, but there you go. You know, you can bask in its glory. And we'll take a look at FTT as well. Now, I'm sure you guys saw yesterday or a couple days ago on Twitter, FTX made an announcement that we're going to give away special edition Hxro FTX t-shirts. Now, as I said also on Twitter, you know, I'm pretty much under a gag order from Dan not to say anything. But it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why would they be doing that? That's kind of interesting. And then you think about even coins that have listed on FTX. Is there an FTX MTA t-shirt? Is there an FTX Lend t-shirt? So maybe you can connect some of the dots there. And then maybe you can look at some of Dan Gunsberg's tweets. And you can start to wonder, and you know, maybe you'll start to connect the dots even more. Let's see here. Because he's been tweeting out these nuggets for a while. So sorry, Dan, if this is too much, but you're the one that put it on your Twitter. So you can deal with it. And literally, you guys have told me not to show this forever. And this just is what it is. Because I'm not giving away everything. If someone gave you 3 to 1 right now that Bitcoin would close tomorrow above 11,500, would you buy it or sell it? And there's some other ones in here. Where'd the other one go? That motherfucker might have deleted that. Maybe it was too obvious. But there was another question that said, like, if we were to give you 60 to 1 odds that Bitcoin would touch, 50,000 by December, would you take it or not? So just think about that. Maybe you can connect the dots there, maybe not. But you guys, we do have something really, really special to announce to you and to tell you. And it's gonna be announced sooner rather than later. So if you're not already in this t-shirt competition, and I'll go ahead and we'll look at FTX. This is it right here. You want a limited edition t-shirt, just retweet with the number of design you would like the most for a chance to win. Be sure to follow us and Real Hero so we can DM you, okay? If you haven't already done this, get on it so you can get one of these t-shirts. Now, I'm not a fan of 3 at all. I think honestly 3 is ugly as fuck. But I think t-shirt number 2 is really cool. Typically, you guys always see me. I'm rocking just a solid color t-shirt, non-branded, Banana Republic life. But I do, t-shirt number 1 has been growing on me. It does have a lot going on it. But I do like the color schemes. I don't like to wear a lot of colors and stuff like that. But if you do this, you could win one of these really, really cool t-shirts. And maybe you think 3 is the best. Everybody has a different opinion. But you could get that t-shirt number 3 or 2 or 1, whichever one you choose. Missing number 1 says, have they said specifically why they've invested, how development progress is coming along? What? Are you talking about 3 arrows on MTA? MTA has like 3 arrows, SBF, Alameda. They've got a bunch of big dick VCs. Now you have to, I just want to point this out, you have to think to yourself and you have to wonder, yeah, we can have fair launch coins that do well, right? But what does it take for a project to go to billions of dollars in market cap? So if I want to go look at let's say I love pickle.finance. If I go look at the top pickle wallets right now, what am I going to find? Oh, this guy's got $4 million. This guy's got $2 million. This guy's got $500,000. When you look at the top wallets that are MTA guys, what are you going to find? $100 million wallet, $60 million wallet. It's just it's a different ball game. And you got to think, who's going to pump a coin to $1 billion plus? Well, who do you fucking think? VCs. Nobody else has enough money to do that. You've got to understand that, while these fair launch coins, of course, can perform, and fair launch is great because that means that everybody gets to, ride to the moon, right? Theoretically, at least everybody gets a shot. But at the same time, in a fair launch coin, it's very rare for a fair launch coin to hit these huge, huge valuations. Looks like my Periscope just froze. Give me just a second. I'm refreshing it so I can see everybody's comments and questions and shit. Now, this stream isn't going to go on. Normally, when we stream, we'll do it for about 2 hours. This is just kind of an impromptu stream to be instead to serve in the place, okay, of our Pokemon stream that we're supposed to have today. Now, we are going to be having the Pokemon stream tomorrow. I've just heard from Jake. He said he can do it before 3. So we'll try to nail out a time. We'll try to get with Crypto Nika Z, see if he wants to hop in too, because they're partners in crime there. Itchy Massa says, Naval Ravikant was skeptical in stablecoins for the very reasons MTA is trying to solve. And I do think MTA is going to solve their stablecoin issues. You guys have to understand that the whole reason why MTA really underperformed during that DeFi season was because MUSD itself was broken. And that being broken set them back by miles. How was it broken? Well, they were offering one-to-one stablecoin swaps with no slippage. You can't do that. You just can't. And I don't know whose idea that was, but it was a bad idea. I think maybe theoretically the idea was that by the time that they would launch that, these stablecoins would be closer to pegs and, they could use arbitrage and lending and things like that to make up the difference. But that didn't end up working out in their favor and didn't do anybody any favors. And it kept them from gaining significant TVL. Now, what's really cool about MUSD is that MUSD is a basket of stablecoins that all represent one stablecoin. Now, what does that mean? Well, exchanges, if you go to Binance, Binance has a PAX, they've got a BUSD, they've got a TUSD, they've got a USDT. they've got all these different pairings. You know, what if you could just have one pairing that was representative of all of those stable coins, and you got to remove some of that clutter and drive more volume and liquidity to that one pairing. Now, also, what if you did have a really, because MTA is going to be a lot like Curve in some regards. You know, they're going to offer very low slippage stablecoin swaps. They just hired this Galaxy Brain dude from Casper Labs to build their next generation automated market making protocol for MUSD. So I have full confidence that when that's deployed, we're going to get TVL and this shit's going to go to the fucking moon. Now, they also are going to have other assets that they're going to bring on chain. Like they're going to have an M Gold, MXAU, and MBTC, which is going to be a basket of tokenized Bitcoins. You know, it's going to have REN Bitcoin, WBTC, TBTC, all of that good shit. This concept can apply to a lot of other things, and they can apply this automated market maker they're developing to all these other different baskets. But you guys haven't seen the last of MTA, I can guarantee you that. And while it's probably one of the most depressing coins to be in right now, there is a future. It's not like, and this is something I've discussed in the past, a lot of this DeFi shit is one cycle coins, especially some of the game theory stuff, which means that it pumps, it dumps, and then it's game over. You know, it's never, ever, ever coming back. If you're in a one cycle coin, I think it should be pretty evident. And that's pretty much like, you know, hey, this is like a fun, it's a Ponzi, this is a fun little game, everybody can play. It doesn't really serve any specific purpose. There's really no chance in people coming back into it when there's new and better game theory coins developed every day. But there are coins that are 2-cycle coins, or 3-cycle coins, multi-cycle coins. And you have to consider when you're looking to buy any kind of DeFi dip, what exactly am I entering right now? Am I entering a 1-cycle coin that's never going to come back, that's just going to dump into oblivion? Or am I entering a multi-cycle coin? And when you enter any kind of dip and you're looking to accumulate value in altcoins and DeFi right now, you need to make sure that what you're buying isn't a 1-cycle coin. Because trust me, there's a lot of those out there. A lot of those out there. So we've been going for about an hour now, which is about the target that I wanted for the Pokemon stream. Maybe we would have gone a little bit longer, you know, if Jake had a lot to talk about. But we're getting close to calling it quits. You know, I want to give you guys the opportunity, if you want to ask any questions about, you know, charting some shit coins or looking at things in particular, you know, I'm happy to take requests right now. And, you know, we can bang some charts out or talk macro or, you know, whatever the fuck you guys want to talk about. If not, then I'm going to go ahead and jump off. But I'll give you guys a minute or two to go ahead and dump those requests in the chat. And maybe we can take a look at a couple of things. And in the meantime, while we're doing that, I'll pull up the seal chart. I'll pull up the pickle chart. Yeah, snow is actually something I'm really interested in. So let's take a look at snow. Is snow out yet? Because I was reading about it, but I'm not sure if it's out. Bumpty 1-cycle coins to 1,000x. Okay, let's see here. And snow just might be an interesting buy down here. I'm not quite sure if this is the right one. Let me verify this on Gecko. $7.63. Wow, is there really only a 500,000 circulating supply on this? 500,000 snow. Fully diluted 4 million. I wonder what the TVL on SNOWSWAP is. But this is one of those next generation AMM protocols, you know, for stablecoins, which is really interesting. I think the snow chart doesn't look too bad, but also you have to keep in mind that, of course, you know, you do see some larger buys here. You do see accumulation, but this doesn't seem to be very liquid yet. And with those airdrops coming in, I do expect there to be maybe some further dumping. You know, we do have this level right here to consider. And let me just make this white and a little bigger so it's more visible. So we do have this level right here. This is definitely like, you know, you could say it's the support level, but like I said, this is mega liquid. I would hold off on this, but I do think SNOWSWAP has a really nice future. I mean, in buying it too, and here's kind of another theory, and I'm not quite sure if it's inflationary and they're going to be minting more supply or what. But if the circulating supply is only 500,000 and you're buying it at a $4 million FDV, that could be major value right there. So if you plan on buying it, I would definitely do it over time and average in, you know, maybe every couple of days you buy a little bit more and just see what happens. But don't blow your whole wad on that right now. Any thoughts on KDA? It's not on Uniswap or whatever, so I'm not really quite sure what Kadena is. I mean, I'm bullish on Ren, but I don't have any exposure to it. I mean, Ren could be coiling up for a really, really big move. There's a lot more history on Ren, so let's look at Ren on CoinTrader Pro. So the big question on Ren, is it coiling up for its next move? You know, which if we are going to see, you know, more influx into this space, like I think this chart looks pretty fucking bullish, just in the sense that we didn't really pull back as much as a lot of other things. Let's look at how hard this pulled back from the top. I've got this on log. Okay. Hold on, guys. Let me auto scale this. Okay. So the big question right now on Ren, is it coiling up for its next move, or is this a complacency leg? You know, I do believe that Ren integration is coming to MetaMask, you know, which is going to allow people to wrap Bitcoin and stuff right then and there through the interface. And that's something to consider from a fundamental perspective. This could be very bullish, and especially, you know, with the we're going to see an increasingly large amount of wrapped Bitcoins that are existing on Ethereum mainnet. And guess who does that trustlessly? Ren. So you have to just keep in mind the fundamentals for Ren make Ren very bullish, especially with what's coming up. Ren could perform well even if Bitcoin is performing well, as more people want to maybe migrate some of that Bitcoin to use in DeFi to put it on Ethereum. But I'm pretty bullish on Ren longer term. And I think Ren is probably going to go to $1 billion cap plus. Now, is Ren the best risk reward trade you can make right now? In other words, you know, is Ren going to make you hilariously rich? I don't know at this phase anymore. You know, if you ask me down here, is Ren going to make you hilariously rich at 4 cents? You know, and I said this in the past at 4 cents. The answer is yes. But is Ren going to make you hilariously rich buying at 34 cents? That's a more difficult question to answer. HAKKA is not a one-cycle coin. So one of actually Ping Chen, the developer for HAKKA, has several products that he's ready to release, but he said that he's not going to release them until the market conditions are conducive to those being released, which I have got no problem with. You know, could he release these new products right now and then have no ammo? Yeah, he could do that, you know, but what's the point? You know, why would you do that when you could wait until the market's conducive to, you know, altcoins pumping and then release products, you know, when there could be significant traction on those products and when those products can really have a really solid impact in the market. I'm not selling my fucking HAKKA. You know, that's not something I'm interested in doing. So we're just going to have to wait on, trust Ping's judgment here, and we're going to have to wait on him to release those products. The good news is that I believe there's 2 products that are ready to release right now. He's got a collateralized debt position that he's ready to release, and then there's some kind of other product as well, which is really cool. It's some kind of derivative-based product. Really bullish on HAKKA. Does HAKKA suck to be in right now? Yeah, it does, big time. I'm actually using Seal to average down on HAKKA. I mean, just looking at this, like, this is just so brutal. This is so brutal, like, how much downside this is seen. And obviously, you know, one of the issues here is this was pump and dumped. And I think this is during the time when Andre was a god and HAKKA was very low market cap. And I think Andre said a lot of really, really good things about the HAKKA developer. And while it was a liquid, that probably caused HAKKA to pump way too hard before it was ready. But HAKKA is one of the few DeFi coins, protocols, whatever you want to call it, that has any intrinsic value at all. Any intrinsic value at all. It's actually, there's a treasury, and right now, HAKKA has got more speculative value than the intrinsic value. But if I wanted to, I could burn my HAKKA right now, and I could get a portion of that treasury would belong to me. And that treasury is filled with the profits from all sorts of different HAKKA products. That's black hole swap. That'll be the collateralized debt position. They've got 3FM, which is an insurance product for Maker DAO. They've got all sorts of different shit going on. Is SEAL a one-time cycle coin? That's to be determined. I don't think SEAL's cycle is played out yet. You know, I SEAL right now is at like a $3.5 million cap. So, you know, in my opinion, that's really, really low for something that's novel and an interesting idea. I think that SEAL top will at least be a $10 million cap, maybe more. But time will tell. One of the things, you know, the SEAL team's making all the right moves. You know, they're pushing product every couple of days. Governance is live. The community seems excited. If you look at the SEAL channel, there's nobody bitching about price. There's nobody bitching about the future of the coin. It's people discussing the future of the protocol, people discussing what they're going to vote on, people discussing how to add value, et cetera, et cetera. Bite of Rope says, SEAL looks like the core chart to me after the first impulse. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, it kind of does. Maybe, kind of, sort of. The core chart's looking pretty good, though. I'm actually liking this a lot. You know, we'll see what happens here. You know, but core is doing some really, really cool stuff. You know, I will say, you know, if we want to take a look at SEAL, and I don't even think this is the best place to look at it. Let's look at it on ChartX Pro. So they're going to have the latest and greatest data. So, you know, while Bitcoin has been moving, SEAL's held up better than a lot of things, of course. But with that being said, you know, SEAL has suffered just like anything else. And from the all-time high, we definitely have some degree of pullback right here. Let's throw some fibs on this and see where it's at. Fib-wise, I need to turn on Snap. That's not how I like to draw fibs, so I don't know why I did it like that. So you can see we're right here at this 0.382 level. We do have some confluence as well from a couple of different places. You know, there's this support block right here. Let me just move this to the side a bit so we can see it. So you've got this support block right here, you know, which is right after the breakout, you know, and that could definitely serve as support, okay, for SEAL. There's also a couple of other things to look at. You know, we've got some trend lines here, and we can go ahead and let's draw those. So, you know, we've got this diagonal as well, and we're coming down onto this diagonal support level. So, you know, I'm really liking that. So this gives us right now at the current moment 3 points of confluence of support. We've got this diagonal. We've got this support level right here from after the break. And then we've also got this 0.382 retracement level. You know, of course, could SEAL go back to, you know, $500? Maybe. But the biggest thing in SEAL is that, like I said earlier, there's money on the sidelines waiting to come in on SEAL and get APR or get APY. But the issue here is that right now, the MEN function on the contract is not under multi-sig control. So in order for this new money to feel comfortable and actually come into SEAL, we're going to need to see that transfer to multi-sig control which is something that the community has already voted on. Okay? The community's already voted on that. And that's something that will be happening soon. I believe the handoff is going to be tomorrow, and we've got some really good candidates up for multi-sig. I like food. I like the guys behind food, but I haven't really studied it hard enough. I wanted to buy the food ICO, but it sold out so fucking fast I didn't get any. I think HAKKA is going to be farming for a while, but farming's not what is destroying the HAKKA price, in my opinion. No, I think angry bag holders are destroying the HAKKA price. We're going to take a look at R Fuel. Now, there was a lot of hype for R Fuel, when it came out. And R Fuel could be making kind of a rounded bottom here, but I think that it's too early to tell on R Fuel. I think it's too early to tell. I definitely want some kind of momentum break or something like that, before entering this, before confirming that this is kind of Adam and Eve-ish, and I hate patterns, but that's just what it looks like. So I'm just going to call it as I see it. But, maybe this goes like this for a while and then breaks out. It is interesting, and this is something I've discussed on previous streams. A lot of these coins do have opportunities for some kind of breakout at the very, very end of October, which is basically right before the election is decided. Now, something else I'm really bullish on that's performing very well is BOT. I'm a really, really big fan of the BOT team and the BOT chart. They've just revamped the entire platform, and it looks really, really nice. This is one of my best performing bags, through all this mess. And you can see the BOT has been range bound really from its inception for months, between like $800 and $250. One of the interesting things about BOT is there is inflation, but it costs money to mint new BOT. It costs actual Ethereum. So it's not just like we're minting coins out of thin air. When people do transaction mining, they are paying Ethereum fees to mint BOT. Okay. So we're going to take a look at NFY. That's going to be the last coin that we're going to look at here. And that looks like poop. NFY does not look good at all. It does look like we had a large buyer come in and spike the price up, and it didn't look too bad until that happened. But now that it has happened, this is a little concerning. Because once this enters price discovery, this is just a Uniswap, and pardon me for saying this, but it's just a Uniswap shitcoin. So we'd really, really want to see this bounce at like $12.50 for me to have any confidence in this at all. But I'm not very confident on the fact that we tried to rally here and it just got Donkey Kong smashed. Actually, I lied. We're going to take a look at Ken, because I tweeted about Ken a couple days ago. Some fuckboy managed to buy 8 Ethereum worth of Ken for $53,000. I'm not quite sure how it happened, but that makes this very annoying because it fucks the chart scaling up big time. I do quite like this structure for Ken. I will stand by my opinion, and I put my money where my mouth is, that Ken is going to make a lot of people rich. And I think in terms of value buys, there's not much better than Ken to buy now at $2. What they're actually doing is they're allowing you to tokenize assets that are staked, that are bonded. Maybe you could have tokenized staked Tezos. Maybe you're bonded and like on your MTA. Maybe your MTA is bonded and you can't sell it, but with the Ken network, maybe you could tokenize that. And maybe you could then trade that bonded position to other people, and that would have a value behind it. It's a really interesting product. So you can see it here. Hxro financializes infrastructural assets for maximizing efficiency of consensus and boosting on-chain application usage. Hxro builds a financial channel to turn on-chain assets into flexible and tradable financial products. There's staking derivatives. Hxro is going to generate K tokens, you know, input native coins. That's your Tezos, that's your Decred, things like that into Keysions. And Keysions makes everything DeFi. You get the K tokens, and you can hedge your staking positions, which is cool. You know, basically means I can, if I'm staking my Tezos, you know, I can have this K token, and you know, I believe that means I can dump it, leverage staking. You can create bonded coins backed loan to create a leverage staking position. Double rewards. I can participate in staking. I can pool my assets into DeFi to claim a return. So let's say I'm staking my Tezos or Decred or whatever, and I decide that, you know, I want to participate in DeFi with that and get those rewards from staking. You know, I can create these K tokens and I can go participate in DeFi with them. It also says stakers can sell bonded staked assets without waiting for a lockup and unbonding period. So let's say that I'm locked up and, you know, because I'm a pre-sale investor in something, and I'm locked up, you know, and I don't get my tokens for another month or two. What I can actually do is I can create these K tokens and I can go ahead and dump those. So there's a lot of uses for Kin, a lot of uses for Kin. And if you look at the market cap, it's just $1 million market cap right now. And I do believe, and this is a Polkadot project too, and it's cross-chain and it's going to support all sorts of different stuff. I do believe this is probably going to end up, you know, going at least 50x from this point in time. Now, if you look at the fully diluted valuation too, and that's kind of important for certain things like this. Oops, it's not going to do the math for me, whatever. The fully diluted valuation of Kin right now is just $20 million. And it's going to take years to get there. So you have to keep that in mind as well. I definitely think that this is a huge value to buy. What do you mean that Asian dude was dumping on me after I tweeted? Oh, Leifeng, that's fine. If he wants out, you know, that's his prerogative. You know, the tweet wasn't. The tweets don't have an intention of breaking something out or anything like that. This definitely is still in structure, and it has time to do its thing on its own, and I think it will. Yeah, no biggie. I mean, fuck, if somebody else tweeted about something that I wanted out of or whatever, and, you know, I decided that I was going to exit, then that's fine. Kin's still in development. They're in their private testnet right now. The public testnet is supposed to go live in like a month. The reason why Kin is so cheap is because we've gotten pretty much no proof of development. Their community communication's horrible. A couple of people have grabbed screenshots of code from the developer's private repository before he found out that people had discovered him, and he made it all private. And, you know, Anchor, Ryan Fang, all those guys, they've said that Kin's legit. So I have no doubt that this is a scam. I mean, look, this has been in existence since the 13th of August, and the liquidity is not locked, and they haven't rugged. So there you go. But anyway, guys, we've gone for an hour and a half. This is definitely about 30 minutes longer than I wanted to stream, so I am going to cut it off here. We are going to have some kind of Pokemon stream tomorrow, and we're going to learn about Pokemon cards. Maybe you guys have some Pokemon cards that are worth a lot of money. If you have binders, you know, get your binders out, you know, bring them to the stream so you can ask these experts how much your cards might be worth. Is it worth getting upgraded, et cetera, et cetera. Or maybe you just want to show up because for drama or to find out about how guys are dumping Pokemon on nerds for tens of thousands of dollars. You know, I don't care. It's going to be an entertaining stream, and I will be tweeting what time the stream is going to be going out shortly. But until then, I will see you guys later. Adios.